Cocktail Caviar.
There it is, Cocktail Caviar. Exciting. Let's bring out the man who's representing this. He is the founder and CEO of Cocktail Caviar, Steve Hollenkamp.
Great. Wow.
I like with alcohol in it.
I wonder what the hell it tastes like.
Hi, everyone. My name is Stephen Hollenkamp. I'm the CEO and founder of Cocktail Caviar. I'm really excited to be here to introduce you all to my baby, my life's work. This is Cocktail Caviar, and I'm excited to hear your feedback and thoughts. So Cocktail Caviar is natural, edible pearls infused with vodka. Each pearl is filled with alcohol, filled with liquid, 6 times distilled organic vodka, naturally flavored, and natural color. And the outside coating is made up of a thin layer of kelp. So it's entirely natural, entirely vegan. So what do you do with it? Cocktail Caviar is an upscale cocktail garnish. Imagine a spoonful in a champagne flute in a cocktail. The pearls don't dissolve. That's the key. They sink to the bottom, and they just look pretty. And you get a little boozy pop at the end. They're also great on frozen drinks where they just sit on top, and then you eat them as you go. And they're great frozen. They're incredible. They're like these little pearls of sorbet. Refreshing, delicious, so fun. So let's see. Cocktail Caviar is essentially a way to add that pop, that splash of intrigue into your cocktails, into your desserts, into your events, into your weddings, and to do so into your life, to do so in a fun and classy way. So we just launched here in Vegas. We have been on the market for 2 months in Vegas, distributing through Southern Wine and Spirits. This is our first and only market so far. And we've had the ability to try a little of everything. And you can imagine having 1,000 ways that you could use this and how it could fit into a bar and restaurants. But we've been able to find out what works and what doesn't work. Here's what works. On top of frozen drinks, we're crushing it. In Cosmopolitan, in the pools, Palazzo, Venetian, the Palms, in these pools at the day clubs, on top of frozen drinks is an upsell. That's working. Number 2, places that do bottle service. Places that do bottle service, we're in 3 nightclubs, 2 gentlemen's clubs. We just got in the new Topgolf. Every single person that orders a bottle of champagne will get these 3 connected metal bowls with Cocktail Caviar in them and a bunch of spoons to add in your drinks, eat straight up, just feed each other and have fun with it. That's working. Off-premise, Southern got me into Total Wine and more. First day I was on the market, and we just got in there a few weeks ago, so now we're getting to see. It's working. It's an upsell for affluent customers who don't get upsold at the register. We're at the register, and customers that usually don't buy the stuff at the register are buying Cocktail Caviar. That's doing well.
Where does it live? Does it live in the freezer, in the fridge, or on the counter?
So it does not need to be refrigerated. It tastes better chilled like anything, like every product.
What is the shelf life?
Unopened, more than a year.
And open?
Once you open it, 4 to 5 months. If you're keeping it refrigerated longer.
That's good.
So where was I? So our strategy, near-term strategy to keep crushing it in Vegas. Only focus on Vegas. We have so much to learn. We learn so much every week about what this product is. It's constantly evolving. It's going to continue to. And so we're going to keep learning, keep growing here. And then once we get a model, a scalable model, something that is airtight, that can be scaled to other markets, something that's just on a platter with a bow to suppliers, a no-brainer, then we'll partner with the supplier and expand. I've thought about raising more money and having a sales team. I don't know how to do that. That's a whole new world that I'd love to discover and get good at. But right now, I'd rather work with someone that can make sure I do it right and make sure we scale this product right. We see this product as being, in the long term, a national accounts product. Airlines, cruise lines, restaurant groups, hotel groups. Yeah, so thank you all for having me and for your consideration. And remember, always pop responsibly.
Thank you, Stephen. Hey, Lisa, I have a quick question. I wonder, this seems like a natural fit for Las Vegas, but where does it, beyond the airport, do you see this thing working in markets in Middle America or
You know, for
Pennsylvania
me,
or the East Coast?
You had me at Caviar as soon as I saw that. I thought, oh, okay, this is really interesting. This would really work in some of my restaurants and the bars. And I think also you should introduce it to chefs at the kitchen as well, because I think that would be a great kind of, addition to ice creams and sorbets. And I could see it, I could very much use this like at parties, walking around with all the different color, because people love a gimmick. It doesn't feel that synthetic to me. A little, not so mad on the yellows and everything, but the natural berry colors. I think it really is innovative. I like it. It would definitely, work. But now the price point, because you're adding it to existing drinks, that would be, a question to me. What's going to be the price? For instance, if you're going to say, okay, I'm going to sell this behind the bar. We've established the shelf life is good enough. But I'm going to sell this and I'm going to offer it on a glass of champagne. What are we suggesting? A teaspoonful in a glass of champagne? What's the price point?
In a champagne, 4 to 5 pearls on top of a frozen drink, 8 to 10.
Right, so what's the price point?
Lisa's got she's right there hitting it right on. Huh? This thing reminds me of marijuana gummy bears.
Yeah.
No, I don't mean it from that standpoint, but I mean it from the standpoint of what is the what's the effective rate of consumption? They've had that problem with taking marijuana and translating in this thing. This is really great. I mean, how wonderful.
Yeah.
But I mean, at what point have I eaten a couple of spoonfuls that I'm speaking the language of tongue?
First of all, you're hitting the core question on the head of how do we make this not just a fad? Not something you do once and it was cool, and then the next time it's like, I've done that, what's next?
Well, I think then you introduce it to restaurants like mine with recipes, and you educate the bar staff and the bartenders and the managers, and you say, okay, I'd like to, put these 2 colors in, and like, for instance, in my restaurant, a pumpatini, is the standard drink that everybody comes into. You could create a cocktail and say, this is the color, and put, I don't necessarily know that I want to deal with 6 colors. I don't.
I agree with Lisa. I think it's a great product. It's very versatile, and when you're ready to come to California, you should give Young's Market a call.
All right.
I'm like a one-trick pony with this. You still have to, on this thing, somewhere, some way, you've got to have an identification of what is consumable properly. Because the problem you have, it tastes really good, there is no alcohol. You don't taste any of it.
The point is to taste
kind of vodka
just
is-
enough.
Well, but you don't
alcoholic.
taste it enough to wave you off like you would with a cocktail, or you would with even with the hard ciders and with some of the pops. And I think one of the challenges, I think Lisa hit it too, was the fact, okay, what do I put in a champagne? Now, if I add 4 of those pearls, what have I done in the alcohol content of that glass? And that's one of the things that if you're a restaurant owner, you're very concerned about, because, they dump a spoonful of this stuff in, and it tastes really good.
It's a shot of vodka.
You gotta see the amount. I do events, and a lot of women that like to put on a cocktail dress and entertain guests with great desserts and foods and wine, and have wine and cheese parties. That's my core, and you gotta see what I've seen, which is women just guzzling.
I feel
their
wasted just
champagne.
having to.
Get to the pearls
How much?
at the bottom.
What's the alcohol content in
Okay, so-
one jar?
It needs a recommendation on how many pearls should go
Yeah,
into the
you're right.
cocktail, right? So to be equal to 1 ounce.
Okay.
If you could do that calculation and let us know, because most bartenders are pouring 1 ounce or an ounce and a half pours, and so making that correlation, and I think that's a pretty simple
Education
fix.
is huge,
Yeah.
hugely important.
I do love it, and I do, just because someone asked about the Middle America. I live in Dallas. I think that would do fantastic in Dallas. Austin, New Orleans, both the cocktail culture and also in fine dining. Yeah, I think it's great.
I think you need to, we listened to the panel earlier about brown goods. You need to find some way to get this into brown goods as well, because this is a great clear spirit champagne additive.
Brown goods,
But,
whiskey.
brown goods. There's got to be another flavor, something that you can add to it with old fashioned, something that
I don't,
Yeah.
like, I don't like the thought of adding it to old-fashioned or whiskey. I think this belongs
What about
on
a
the top of
Manhattan?
a
A Manhattan.
Maybe, but maybe it belongs in a champagne or a mojito or a martini. I'm feeling that. I'm
very-
not thinking that
Does it-
belongs on an old-fashioned. Do you
Instead of
think?
cherries, I might-
The cherries.
Yeah, with
Maybe.
cherries, it's
Yeah.
a fun accent to an old-fashioned.
Also, another size for home use, because it might be too big a package to
Would be
take home.
375.
Totally
Somebody
right.
wants to entertain
Yeah.
at home,
Totally
so
right.
it's cool.
I needed a packaging size. One about the packaging, they stack up, so they save space on a back bar if they're not in the
Actually
fridge.
pretty cool
They
concept.
look cool in a liquor store. But I needed a size that worked for on and off. I have a smaller size, 100 ml jar. I think people would rather have 3 small jars than one
Yeah.
big one.
Yeah.
Get different flavors. I totally agree with you.
You chose a good town to launch it in and a good distributor to bring it to.
Yeah.
Great.
I knew you were going to say that. It was only
Good job.
Well, bring it over to us.
Let me just clear up a few questions that didn't get answered. The proof is 12.5%, 25 proof.
Okay.
About the strength
That's what-
of champagne. That's
One glass?
And a lot of cocktails. Huh?
One glass?
One jar.
One. So
jar.
One
it's
jar?
by volume.
Yeah.
By volume.
So like a small pearl or 50 pearls is still the same percent. So it's like a little sip of champagne in a pearl. What else? So price.
Well, a pearl is like a sip.
Whole jar with
Yeah.
So I've just had like 30
You
pearls.
just had 30 little mini sips of a cocktail.
Right here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think
Price.
pearl is
Yeah.
12.
$20 a jar is the retail price here in Vegas. It'll be
$20.
higher in New York and other markets. Per pearl, that works out to about 3 cents a pearl. So the point is to be like all other garnishes, just cooler and better and more exciting, about the same price, roughly, have a much longer shelf life, and you don't have to cut them up, just easy.
What would be great is to create a condiment tray to go alongside. So if you want to replace the garnish, you should create a condiment tray to be a point of sale item to put the pearls
That's
in
a good
there.
idea.
And then it'll go right in.
You know,
Charlie, go ahead.
one of our suppliers, Gallo, always says you need to have a reason for being there. You've created something totally unique. Totally unique. That's why everyone's saying, call me, we're all interested. No one has the foggiest idea how well it'll do, but it is so
Yeah.
different and so unique. Who wouldn't give it a shot? So I think it's brilliant. I think it's interesting. It's different. Congratulations. Just one question on the process. Is it proprietary? Can someone knock you off? Or you
It would be tough.
Okay.
We have a patent.
Okay.
Get around patents.
Sure.
And yeah, it would be tough. I think it would be very tough.
Fabulous.
It's definitely possible, especially once this is working. If this is working and getting traction, people will find a way.
Yes, and then you won't mind because you'll be so damn successful.
Yeah, hopefully. And so the
Patents are only as good as you're willing to protect them, so.
Exactly.
make sure you've got
And
the
so
work
the goal is to grow and make the right partnerships, partner with the right supplier at the right time, the right distributors, and grow quickly enough where I'm always 3 steps ahead of any competitor. And for any competitor to think, I'm not going to even think about competing against this passionate young kid with his little alcohol pearls, because I'm not going to beat him.
The other thing that I like that you said was you got to make sure you already know what your next obstacle is, right? You already know that you can't be a one-trick pony, that you have to find the next solution for it. And that's really important. I mean, because it can very easily fall into a one-trick pony. But the fact that you're already thinking about it, I applaud you, because you have to continue to innovate and change and create to be relevant in the marketplace.
Did you say they don't dissolve? When you put them in a cocktail, they don't dissolve. However long they're there, they don't dissolve.
Oh.
They don't. They dissolve. You got to pop them.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, if
Fabulous.
there's no more questions, I want to thank you, Stephen. That was
Great
fantastic.
job.
Very good.
Thank you guys.